I think it's Duchess.
Duchess 999.
Yeah. Last price?
998.
998. Hello and welcome to the channel. This is DIY Queen. If it's your first time seeing me, hi, my name is Priscilla. I'm a Nigerian womenswear designer based in the UK, and in this series I'm going to be taking you guys through the process of creating the most playful and over-the-top dresses. But there is a catch. My budget is £25 only, which means I have to work magic somehow and create these designs with that amount in mind. So if you'd like to see how I bring these creations to life, make sure to keep on watching. You do want to subscribe. Subscribe now, like now, so you'll be the first to know every single week when a new episode of this series drops on the channel.
What is it like when you go through the fabric shop? What's that like for you?
I don't know how to explain it. It's like I get excited and inspired at the same time, because sometimes seeing a fabric inspires me to make something with that fabric. Other times I'm going to look for a particular material for a design I already have sketched down or in my head, or for a collection or for a client. So it really depends on like the day and what I'm looking for. In this episode, we're going to be attempting to make a one shoulder loose fitted gown with a faux feather trim. So let's go grab all the materials we need to create this dress. We have arrived at Shepherd's Bush Market, which is a popular street with several fabric shops behind me. I have my £25. I literally had to withdraw the cash, and I hope it will be enough for all of the materials I need. So follow along. All along. I think it's called Goat Hawk Road, because it literally says Goat Hawk Fabrics over there.
Goat Hawk.
Yeah. And I think the market around the corner is called the Shepherd's Bush Market. So this is Goat Hawk Road.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this orange one would be nice. It might be a bit bright, but I think that would work. I think that would work actually. How much is it per meter? The flow is nice. You won't sell 9? Well, I ended up not finding the fabric I wanted in the first shop, so we went into another one. I believe this was called A1 Fabrics, and the attendant here was really nice. I snooped around a bit before I started to see some options that could work price-wise and style-wise. To say, oh, hello. Wow, I get so distracted easily. It's actually crazy. I think I found the orange. It's at the back. Yeah. I don't want to break everything. Here. Yes, I think this one would work. Yeah, this would work. How much is it? $9.99. No. But why? I didn't see any price on it though. I think it's Duchess.
Duchess 999.
Yeah. Last price?
$9.98.
$9.98. I tell you, it's not just even though it's 25 pounds, I want the dresses to still look, you know, really well put together and look more expensive than 25 pounds. I think that's one of the biggest aim I'm trying to achieve with this project, that you don't need to spend a lot of money to create something that looks really beautiful and something that is well made. After a while, the store attendant showed me this bridal satin that just felt a lot lighter and flowier and less expensive compared to the Duchess satin that I wanted initially. The huge debate was how many meters I needed and if my budget could cover that quantity. I knew the perfect dress length would be 2.5 meters, but the guy was not bold, you know, and I needed to get the full feather trim as well to add that extra effect that the dress design has. We had to meet each other halfway. I ended up getting 2 meters of the burnt orange bridal satin and 2 meters of the full feather. After plenty beg, we made a deal and I ended up spending 25 pounds for everything that I got from this store. You must have a lot of Nigerian clients.
All Wahala people come here.
We're not Wala people, we're nice. We're nice. I'm going to pay him. Thank you so much. But
No, 25 on the feed.
thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank
We have secured the bag. Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, that was so stressful. Thankfully, it wasn't too bad. We only had to go into like 2 shops. And because I knew what I wanted, I was quite specific on the fabrics I was looking at. I got distracted here and there, but it wasn't very difficult, thankfully.
Yeah, you do like to get distracted by new fabrics, right?
Yes, I do.
Now that I have my fabric and trim secured, I ended up with 2 meters of this orange bridal satin and 2 meters of my full feather trim. With this in place, I'm going to go ahead and cut the dress design, which is pretty straightforward and requires no sewing pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and clear my table, fold my fabric in half, keeping the folded edge on the top side. I have folded with the selvage or the ends of the fabric at the side, and then on the top folded edge I'm going to be marking 7.5 inches downwards, and then so it creates a one shoulder effect, I'm going to mark 12.5 inches sideways like this. These I'm going to connect together to draw my scoop neckline. I'm trying to keep it not too low so it's not very revealing, but at the same time it's a comfortable fit on the body. For the dress hemline, I want something that is a circular shape, so I'm going to be drawing with freehand a curved seam or a curved edge that goes from this side all the way down to the bottom, because I wanted to have a nice flowy drapey effect once it's on the body. I added some pins along the hemline just to keep everything intact while I cut along the curved hemline. If you're not confident doing this by hand, you can go ahead to use a French curve, a pattern master, or any curved ruler that you have to ensure that your line comes out the way that you like it. I'm also going in here to cut out my dress neckline, so I am ready to stitch everything together. I'm going to take this my machine and I'm going to put right sides together and stitch up the straight side seam that is to the left, and then I'm going to go ahead to work on the hemline and the neckline afterwards. Now I'm sewing only 1 centimeter seam allowance, which I kept in mind when I was marking the neckline, and thankfully because it's a selvage edge I don't need to go back to overlock or to use bias binding to finish everything. Now along the hemline I'm just folding and stitching everything nice and flat. Then I'm going to go to the neckline and fold it and stitch it in place. If you don't want to do it like this, you can use a bias binding to finish your neckline, or you can actually use a facing if you want it super professional and very tidy. I've gone ahead to lay the dress down like this, and I've put the wrong side together, so the right side of the dress is what you can see. And along this part I am going to be marking half of my bust measurement plus half an inch ease, and then 6 inches below that, which is vertical distance from my bust to my waist, I'm marking half of my waist measurement plus half an inch ease as well. And then I'm essentially going to draw a A-line silhouette with chalk. The plan is to do this with chalk so I can go back in and stitch along this chalk line. Just ensure that the hip, the bust and the waist are all a comfortable fit once that stitch line is stitched into the dress. This I am just doing ever so slowly and ever so nicely, so this forms the shape of the dress on my body without it becoming like a straight side seam. The last thing I'm going to add is the full feather trim. This I'm just adding from the side edge here to the other side on the top of the sleeve or the shoulder area. If I had more, I would have done this all the way around the dress, but because we're working on a tight budget, I'm only going to put this on the front of the dress. After pinning it in place, I took this to my machine and I stitched the feather trim along the front hemline of the dress to finish everything up. This I would say you can do by hand or you can use a sewing machine, whatever method works for you. But once it's all done, I gave my piece a nice press to relax all of the stitching, and this is what it looks like all done.
You're already on my mind when it gets late. I always realize that I need you. Are you thinking about me tonight?
Did the finished dress meet your expectations?
Honestly, not really. I feel like I would have wanted a fluffier trim. I think the trim that I got wasn't full enough, or maybe I just needed to get more. But because I had the £25 budget, I knew I couldn't get more than I got. Next time, I'll most likely be mindful of the styles I choose to create, because some styles, like the orange dress, is quite straightforward, really simple, really easy. But I think if I wanted it to come out nicer, maybe I would have spent more money on the trim and then less money on the fabric. Basically just thinking ahead and planning ahead on where I want to spend more money on the project so it comes out looking good. I will still wear it. I'll wear it on holiday. When it's nice, light and airy, I think it would be like a cool piece to wear.
Taking a mental picture in my mind just to keep
Reduce the amount of trims at the bottom, but that's like what gives the dress, you know, the jazz and the personality. But yeah, this one, it's because it picks up some of the blue from that fabric, but this one looks better with the lining. That's how much I spent today. That leaves me with about £14 plus to get the boning and the trims. Okay, color wise, I think it's between this mint green and this duck egg. So I only put it on the parts that matters, that is the front. So